fly and it stings like a black bee. This is a review of the T6 Dracula, the second Halloween event tank that you can currently grind in World of Tanks Blitz. As you can see, it's wickedly fast. We go up on this mountain on Middleburg and we spot a platoon of SP1Cs. Very quick to pick up on speed. It's very mobile. It just floats around the battlefield. Wargaming have probably done something to the soft edge of this tank, but all that maneuverability comes with a huge price in terms of armor, because, well, it basically hasn't got any armor whatsoever. 30, 20, 20, 30, 20, 20. That's the amount of armor you have on your hull and on your turret. But it just moves around. As you can see, tier 7 is filled with Draculas at the moment. It looks very good. The only bit of armor you have on the tank is basically the gun mantlet, and that's very thin to say the least. This was a fun game. We ended up on a Rudy and Dracula platoon on our side and a Dracula platoon on the Reds, and we just hammered away at each other, and these are all little tidbits and snippets of good moments in the tank. It's got decent gun depression, pretty crap penetration numbers really on AP. APCR is decent at 187 if I recall correctly, but you will have a lot of problems against the bigger tier tanks, the higher tier heavies, KV4s, Defenders, obviously, IS-3s. Those are the tanks that you will face in the Dracula, and for which you will need a lot of premium ammunition. As you can see, also 87 from the front, it's all red. But that said, sides of Tiger 2, you can easily pen them, and that's a good thing. The biggest asset of the tank obviously is the speed. Just look at this. We are moving away at Port Bay, and if you take a look at the minimap, we just keep raising the distance between me and a 59 at the back, and I would usually go towards the left into the corner, but I decided for a change to go up over here on this hill, see what happens if we can spot anyone. There's an LTTB on the red team. Yes, we can spot someone. There's a T-44 on the left. Hello. And the LTTB will pop up in the corner like that. He shoots me. You won't get a lot of bounces in the tank, maybe some lucky ones on the gun mantlet. But like I said, you have good speed, very good soft stats, and you can just move around, drive around, and also drift around like a mother buzzer. Because that's what this thing can do. It just floats. It's an excellent drive. Armor, like I said, is weak. Gun stabilization isn't that good, and that can be a big problem in the tank if you're not an experienced driver or don't know how to use that mobility. The tank might even be a bit too quick for its gun, but it's a fun ride nonetheless. Here you can see another very nice drift. And we end up against an SU-152. Let's take a look at the statistics and the tank in a Halloween garage. Looks aside, with the skirts on the side and the wings and bits on top of the turret and the small claws at the front. It's an aesthetically pleasing vehicle, much different than the steampunk Helsing HO. And in terms of statistics, you have a tier 7 gun, tier 7 turret, tier 10 engine and tier 7 tracks, 1250 hit points, 30 20 20, 30 20 20 in terms of armor. And here you can see the maneuverability, 1200 horsepower engine on a 33.7 ton tank. Decent alpha damage, 225 at 8 rounds a minute, 155 AP, 237, I was correct on it earlier on your APCR. View range 250, not excellent really, but the traverse speed, just look at it, 48 and 50, making combined traverse speed of 98. In terms of equipment, usual stuff for mediums. In terms of ammunition, not spectacular, 60, 20 and 10. And fuel rations, the tin food, which I thought was actually a different type of fuel. And the enhanced rations, and we have a repair pack, multi-repair and adrenaline on the side in terms of consumables. 2 full games, we'll follow this statistical bit of the review. The first one is up on Desert Sands and the second one will be on Goldville. And all looks and aesthetically pleasing stuff aside, Dracula looks decidedly out of place on a desert map. But that said, all those dunes you can also drift around over here and just go safely up on the mountain. We are trying to spot some targets. First one up is the SB1C. One shot goes in, he pounces one on, I don't know, the front of my track guard probably. No, for no damage, I don't get track either, that's good. This shot doesn't go in, it's not a good snapshot tank because dispersion is 0.36 I think. But like I said, the gun depression on it is decent. This is actually a snapshot going in on the E2. Very lucky. You might need some APCR on the front of an angled E2, but tanks like this, the Hellcat, 225 average damage at 155 penetration, that's just easy to take out Hellcats, T29s, etc, etc. As you can see from the minimap, we have a big AT gun at the back, the SU-152. Unluckily for the Reds, in Emperor's Clan we have had a few training nights. We have been training this map on and on, so I kind of know like where to go, where not to go, and how I have to move around over here. We are taking massive hits in terms of tanks going down, and this is why we have been training with Emperor's Clan. Switching the targets, I am shooting the VK3001D, or at least I was trying to, switching to the P at the moment because he is a target, he gets taken out by the Comet, and we bugger off because we have a lone SB1C over there. As we want to kill the SB1C, there's a T29, we miss the SB1C, we drive around again, we miss the T29, it's 213. Switching to HE for the SB1C, switching back to AP, frantically button pressing, blah blah blah. And it's 3 on 4 now, 4 on 4 because the SB1C gets killed by the SU-152. A lot of assistance damage done by us in this game because we have an SU-100 as well. We are trying to respot the targets, we are floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee, and we are drifting again. Whee! Fast and the Furious in World of Tanks Blitz. Switching to APCR because we weren't sure how we would find that E2, but a shot in the engine deck gives us an easy kill, and we are going to use these two racks of vehicles for cover against the D and against the Panther. They bounce a shot on one of the wrecks, or on a Mantlet, I don't know, I think it's a bounce on one of the wrecks, probably not on me, he shoots me anyway, but 329 with an SU-100 over there. That should be an easy kill. One into the Panther, he wants to shoot at us, but decides to shoot the 100 again. We can't save him, unfortunately, but like I said, we did quite a lot of assistance damage on account of that SU-152 at the back on the train tracks, and this gave us the first mastery game in the Dracula. Top gun as well, 1800 tokens received for the in-game event. And here you can see 1500 assistance damage, 2k overall, that's pretty good. And in terms of credits, well, decent. It's not that big. The Premo cost is quite high for a Tier 7 vehicle. And if you spam premium ammunition a lot on IS-3s, etc., the bill will be a lot bigger. But if you can go sparingly on it, especially in Tier 7 matches, use your mobility to get to the side of an IS, of a KV-3, of T-29s, shooting the hull, shooting the back end of it, you are more than mobile enough to do that. And if you can, well, if you can be sparingly with the premium ammo, this can be a decent earner. Unkindest fellow community contributor and streamer from Clan Phoenix, he remarked on the Skype chat we have that it was a SHIT tank with awful stabilization, etc, etc. Amonit actually replied, well, you think all the tanks are SHIT, and he replied, oh, the SB1C, that's a good tank, that's amazing, this one is just decent. And in terms of penetration, I think it is. In terms of gun handling, I think it is. 2.2 second aim time, that's good. Dispersion, not great. penetration values on AP not great, but the alpha damage is good. 225 at 8 rounds a minute gives you 1800 DPM if you manage to penetrate all the hits. But for doing things like this, moving around, shooting tanks that are one shots, maybe two shots, especially on the Jacques point, you can see I'm moving around both of the buildings, then making a turn right into his turn left, sorry, into his side armor, and that's the second kill of the game. And we are moving up over here again. We are trying to save our green mate at the back over there. Unfortunately, we can't save him, so the ST1 kills our T32. But we are lucky. You can hear the sounds of Borsig shells flying around and landing in the sand in front of me. That goes to show that you can also buy new protect in the game. But all kidding aside, we were very lucky because a Borsig shell, I've had a game where a Borsig hit me on the move with a full roll of HE ammo, I think, because, well, some 1k hit point came flying off of the Dracula, clipped its wings and left me there with my tracks busted and a comet and a Rudy platoon finished off. Wham bam, Dracula gone. Well, that is the nature of the game. If you manage to fire on weak spots of IS tanks, etc., you can hit them and you can penetrate them as well. If you manage to hit the sides of IS-3 defenders, you can penetrate them as well, as you can see over here. But if you want to get up in a dogfight, you definitely need some APCR. So let's try it out and see what happens here. How maneuverable are we against the defender? I also suspected that the defender was actually reloading, and from the looks of it, he is reloading. We can put one into his side. It's 4-on-1 at the moment already. Our IS-3 takes out another IS-3, one more into the side, but it only damages his tracks, moving around again and trying to avoid his gun. This one we catch track damage. He probably fired HE on me, and if you just keep moving around, those skirts might absorb some HE hits and heat shells. One more shot into him. The Borsig is still there at the cap, and we are reduced to 450 hit points and reduced even a bit more from the IS at this point. So we go over here. We want to switch to AP. We don't switch to AP, so this is overkill on the Borsig, but we get the kill anyway. 6-on-1, leaving just the IS-3 defender to clear up. He's looking our way, we are not poking out. He's still looking our way, we are not poking out. He's not looking our way, we are poking out. There's a rock. We get one shot in. Can we manage the kill shot? Spoiler alert, no we can't. SU-101 gets the kill shot. But this goes to show what you should do in the Dracula and what you shouldn't do, because I think this is the better tank of the two, or at least the most fun tank, but that's because I like driving medium tanks mostly. But this tank is ridiculously fast, and that can get you into trouble very, very quick. If you have trouble driving those fast tanks, it might not be the tank for you. It's a good medium tank, more of a light really in terms of mobility and armor wise, but it doesn't have that advantage of a light tank of not losing camo rating. That said, it's all we have for now. Cheers, happy tanking.